Here at Around the Reel, we've got some plugs to do, right, guys?
We're doing some plugs?
We got some plugs. We got some shout-outs.
Oh, shout-outs.
Ooh.
And our first shout-out today is Bars.
Bars?
Bars. You got to listen to this song, Dry.
All right.
Listen to it. It's amazing. It's great.
Is that what's playing right now?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
So listen to that shit because it's cool.
And that's it's on YouTube and I think SoundCloud, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So check out Bars, guys.
Thank you.
Bars with a Z. B-A-R-Z.
Boom.
Song's called Dry. Check it out.
All right, badass. What else you got?
Hey, I want to give a shout out to Ralph Smith. His film Runaway, excuse me, Ralph. His film Runaway just came out for his premiere. He did a virtual premiere for everybody for a short showing and is getting ready to release it soon. Shout out to not only Ralph Smith, but also Naomi Clockers, Grace Wallace, all previous guests of our show who have been on here. We've talked to them, they've talked to us. The movie's coming out. Check it out when you can.
That's badass.
Oh, and also we had a favorite actor in that. I got a shout out, Aaron Focus Switzer.
Yes.
You're amazing. You were good. We loved you.
Yeah, he's got his own little radio show he does too.
Well, badass.
Yeah,
Cool
he's not
dude.
fucking around.
Wait,
Anyway, so shout out to you, Aaron.
Does that make him competition?
No, I don't know.
I don't think
There's
so.
room for
I mean, I
everybody.
just shout out. He was great.
Oh,
so
okay.
we're
There's
just
room for
shouting out.
We're just shouting.
We're just shouting out. And Naomi's mom, Stephanie, she needs a shout out too, just because she's cool.
Yeah, she's cool as fuck.
She's cool.
Love her.
So shout out to her, Thelma. She's Thelma.
What? And you're Louise?
Yes.
Oh my god. All right. Well, I got one other thing I wanted to plug, and that's our new documentary.
Yes.
We are doing a documentary about the giant octopus.
The giant Pacific octopus.
That's the one. And we are going to be starting a campaign on this project to help us make this production as great as it can be. So we could really use your guys' support to help us out and, fund this thing a little bit so we can make the goals that we're trying to do and have the best quality content possible. I don't know what platform we're going to be doing the campaign on yet, but we will make sure to let everybody know when it's available. And again, just look out for it. We'd really appreciate anything you guys can do, but I think we're going to have some prizes and gifts with the campaign. So we'll get more details about that later.
Indeed.
Yes, but that's going to be starting real soon.
I like gifts.
You like gifts?
Gifts are good.
Can we give away gifts?
Yes.
I gotta
Because
give-
gifts are
I
good.
gotta-
Giveaways are awesome.
I have a gift for everyone.
Oh, God.
Oh, for fuck's sakes. Well,
Please tell me it's not
I just
spores.
wanted everybody to feel like they're part of the team here and help us out making a movie. And you're going to get all weird.
Welcome to Around the Reel with your hosts, Aaron Carlson, Charles Lawson, and Samantha Hannah. Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang.
Stories were written thousands of years ago. Everybody else has just been copying ever since.
Wait, I just started writing 30 years ago. So it really started then. Some of the best writing, I think.
Oh,
I think.
my God.
You don't think so?
Whoa. Yeah.
Well,
Welcome
I am-
to Aaron tooting his own horn.
welcome to Aaron's
Little
Reel.
balance of confidence and narcissism, it's okay.
Right?
Oh, no, here we go. Number one,
Okay.
she threw me under the bus already.
Ding, ding, ding. She wins. I love her. She is the best.
and she gives you the bump.
You're my favorite person.
Oh my God, this is going to be fun.
This is a lot more even this week as opposed to last
Yeah,
week when we
I
had
was gonna
Marshall's
say.
in and Casey and
Yeah,
everybody
it was
else on.
all
Yes,
kinds of out of whack.
Now it's balanced. It's 3-on-1.
There was so much testosterone here that I wanted to literally cry.
Dude, she was around guys with muscles, like muscle guys.
Big muscles.
Yeah.
Big muscle guys.
Yeah, no, and then we had Marshall on the show too. It was cool.
You are such a stupid asshole.
Welcome to Around the Reel.
You sure you want to fly out here and be in one of our movies?
I know, right?
Oh, she'd have
I do
fun.
want to fly out there and be in one of your movies.
We'd have so much
we
fun.
have fun. That's
do.
the good thing.
As soon as we can give her a budget that we can fly her out here so it's
Yeah.
worth her
Oh,
spending
heck
time away
yeah.
from her children.
Absolutely.
You got my request, right? Like first class, I need to have cashews and not regular peanuts.
No, you talk
right?
about
Like, there are-
high maintenance
Oh my!
narcissism.
This girl.
I screwed
I
it up.
love
I had
her.
pistachios only.
Ah!
Shit, she's turning around. She's going back.
Pistachios are good, though.
But Sam got a maggot in one of
I'm
her
ghetto,
pistachios. Remember that? When you got
I
a
did
maggot
get a
in one?
maggot and a pistachio before.
She got a maggot.
It was really good. It was disturbing. I still eat pistachios, but I prefer them unshelled.
So what did you do with it? Did you eat it anyway, or were you like?
No, I spit it out.
She did.
That's how I knew it was a maggot.
Oh, you actually had already placed it in your mouth.
Oh, yes.
And you
it
guys
was
talk
in my
about the
mouth.
things that come out of my mouth, and you're putting weird crap in your mouth.
I ate a lot of
we've
bugs
been
around
talking
that
about
time.
what's coming out of somewhere else. Chuck,
Okay,
with
well,
you.
I thought we were trying to
Let's
avoid
not-
that part of the conversation this
We
week.
really are. We're
Well-
trying to avoid that.
Had Chinese or what happened?
Just poop. We don't want to talk
Yeah,
about it.
it's all bad.
I've been sick. I'm still sick. It sucks.
Yeah.
Everybody keeps saying, "Yeah, but you look great." And I was like, "Of course I look great. I was 40 pounds overweight, and I've lost 17 pounds in the last month.
Jeez.
You were 40 pounds overweight?
I
So
was
he says.
270.
Jesus Christ. Well, I always thought you were like big boned,
Boned.
Thanks. I have always been a large person.
Yeah, you're a
Yes.
big guy.
However, I usually was between. Like back in the day when I smoked, I was between 220 and 235
Okay.
all the time. When I
Okay.
quit smoking, I blew up
God,
to 270.
Jeez.
Like as in
then-
like blew up like a balloon or blew up like a bomb.
No, I blew up like a balloon. In the last month, I've been blowing up like a bomb.
Yes, you sure have.
Oh, God.
Well,
okay.
guys,
So,
Anyways.
here's our show.
welcome to
Welcome,
Around the Rio.
Leanne.
Thank you.
You look beautiful and you have your trucker hat ready to go.
Yes.
I love it.
She's
I thought it was
sporting.
like a requirement. The last podcast you guys
Should
had,
be.
everybody was wearing a hat. I was like,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to feel left out. And now, like, I'm just with Aaron. And I'm debating whether I want to take it off.
No, I love it.
She's
It looks
threw me under
like
the bus
you're
again, bro.
you're ready to go. Oh yeah, you don't want to be like Aaron. She doesn't want to
I
twin
tease
with
the
you
ones
'cause
I
you're an
love.
asshole.
Oh,
That was so sweet.
I was going to say, did you listen to Carmine's podcast? Because that's all he did the whole time was kept throwing Aaron under the bus and then backing up.
He did.
And then reversed. Oh, no.
Yep. Yep.
It was great.
I keep
It was the
standing
best.
up, though. I'm like the Terminator. You can't stop me.
mean.
Can't stop it. Anyway, Leanne Johnson, actress. How are you?
Musician,
Musician.
Yeah.
What else do you do? What else do you do?
writer. I mean, what else?
Do you write some stuff, too?
I can hacky sack. I'm pretty good with the yo-yo.
You can hacky sack.
Yeah.
Okay, see
Dude.
now when you come here, you got to hacky sack with me because I can hacky sack too.
And I can yo-yo
Yes.
like a motherfucker. I can get down with the
Oh,
yo-yo.
yeah.
I love yo-yos.
Oh, well, no.
Yes.
When we bring her here, I am bringing her, aside from starring in something that we want to do,
Sure.
I am bringing her solely so that two of you can spar.
Oh, we're going to spar, too? Okay, give me a week so I
Kick his
can
ass.
stretch and stuff.
If you
I gotta
please,
stretch out
if
a
you
little bit.
please will kick his ass, you really will be my favorite person
What is-
forever. You will earn so many points.
You're
for
getting
that
me
now.
excited now. This is fun.
Dude, she thinks she's
There's
no
like
joke.
double incentive now.
She's gonna kick your ass.
Dude, I've watched
And
3
play
seasons
hacky
of
sack
Cobra
with
Kai.
me.
All right, I'm ready to go.
You watched 3 seasons of
fully
Cobra Kai in like a
prepared.
week.
Yeah, I'm no joke. I take crash courses in martial arts. I don't fuck around.
What is your area of expertise, Leanne?
Oh, for training, I just do Krav Maga. So it's a self-defense system. Basically,
Countering.
maximum amount of violence in the least amount of time. So I play real dirty. There's no.
Ooh, you're
Yeah.
done,
No,
I know.
dude. You're done.
Dude, no, because you don't need a lot of defense when you have so much offense.
Yeah, but you understand that her training is to reverse pretty much everything that you're doing and to cause the most amount of pain.
Yeah, but that's for standard people. I mean, I'm not only fast and efficient. She wouldn't even see the punches coming, bro.
Oh my God, stop
Dude,
it.
but I'll take it light on you, Leanne. I mean,
It's okay. I'm recording this too, so that I can, play it back to you when you're on the ground.
that's okay. That's fine. That's fine. We'll see. We'll see about that.
What was that?
thought-
What was that,
Be
Sarah?
all right. Be all right.
You were so fast.
I didn't even see what happened.
Just use her own venom against him.
You know what's fun?
Love it.
Every creative person that we've talked to, a majority of them, have done martial arts or are
Yes.
currently doing martial arts.
That
Isn't
is
that
the
kind of
coolest
interesting?
thing. Yeah,
like
it is.
everybody has. I mean, I've done it. Sam, have you done it? No. Chuck, have you?
No.
Okay, not everybody, Leanne, but I used to be in martial arts too.
Wait a second. You just skipped right over me. Have I had any formal martial arts training? No. When I was in 8th grade, did I follow ninjutsu for a little while? Yes, I did. However, have I spent also half of my life protecting people and taking care of things? Did I have to do through any kind of formal training? No.
I'm talking ninjutsu
Oh, yeah.
though. I'm not talking about watching Revenge of the Ninja.
You just rattled off about the whole idea of being creative and going through martial arts. You saying
Right.
I'm not creative, fool?
I was kind of throwing you guys under the bus a little
Careful
bit.
what
with
you
that.
You
trying
were
to say?
trying to throw us under the bus, but the funny thing is that you've done martial arts. I have not,
Yeah.
but yet I can kick your ass.
This is true. This is true.
Just saying.
She's not.
Leanne, are you having fun listening?
Yeah,
in?
no, I was just thinking which Ninja Turtles y'all would be.
Oh, which ones?
Go ahead. Name us
Yeah,
off.
we're dying to know.
Some like Donatello, and then we got I think we've got Raphael right here.
Which one's
Which
Raphael?
I was going to say,
Raphael.
you're
I
pointing
think
to
she's the inner rebel. I think she would.
You got Raphael?
Sam's
And
Raphael.
then, and then
totally.
Aaron's
take it.
just like, where's the pizza, Michelangelo?
Oh, you think I'm
And I'm
Michael?
Leonardo, of course, because that's who I was growing up with.
Which one?
She's Leonardo.
Leonardo,
yeah.
oh,
Leonardo?
for sure.
All right.
Which
I
makes
grew up,
me Donatello, so I'm still the
Ninja
fucking nerd.
Turtles, Karate Kid, Power Rangers.
See?
I was born for this.
See?
I was born to fight.
See, she loves all the shit. She liked the cool stuff. That's awesome.
Yes.
Good for you. Good for you. So
That
she's
is
a martial artist and everything else.
But she's tougher than a Pink Ranger. I gotta say, I don't see her being the Pink Ranger.
I'm the Pink Ranger, probably.
Oh, nothing wrong with Pink Ranger. Pink Ranger's badass.
Pink Ranger's all right, but whatever. You're the Pink Ranger, actually, Aaron.
Probably am. I probably am. Yeah. Yeah. Pink Ranger was the prettiest one, though.
So
Why am I totally drawing a blank on her name?
I don't remember either.
that was
Joanne?
the longest, like,
Kimberly.
blank-
No, was she the
Joanne.
Ranger?
Kimberly was her name on the show, wasn't it? Wasn't it Joanne or
I can't remember, actually. Huh. It's okay.
quick? Somebody Google.
Yeah, we have someone have to
I have
Google
no
it.
idea.
All
I
right,
can do
Leanne.
it, but,
Oh wait, I said Google on the air. There goes another $20.
I know.
Well, since we're looking that up, Leanne, why don't you
Oh,
tell us a
am
little
I
bit
really-
about...
No, we're not really
Does,
looking at it.
Do you guys care about Leanne at all here?
Leanne.
Guess?
We do, actually. We want to know all about you.
Yes. We want to hear about you,
Okay.
Leanne, a little bit. Tell us a little bit about
So many
yourself.
secrets.
Tell us.
My thumb. Sorry.
Okay, well, what do you want to know, guys? I'm an open
Everything.
book.
We want to know everything. So you're a mom.
Yes,
How many
I
kids
am.
do you have?
I have 2 girls.
You have 2 girls.
I always thought I'd be a
You're
boy mom, too.
I
was
did
like,
too.
What's this Princess Tea Party stuff?
Right? I thought I'd be a boy mom too, and I got girls. 3.
I didn't even know there was parts of my heart that existed until I had girls.
Seriously, right?
It is like a whole nother level.
It
I thought I
is.
was just going to like get to play fight with lightsabers and go to hockey practice and stuff. And instead,
Oh
it's like
no.
princess dress up, and I was way out of my league.
Okay,
But
well,
You can still do those
you
things.
didn't say attitude and stuff
Yeah.
like that yet, so they must not be teenagers yet. I am assuming mine are grown.
no,
So
6 and 2, they're little.
oh, honey,
They're
just
little.
wait. Oh, just wait, baby. Just wait.
Yeah,
I mean,
call
you
you
will be using that that training, but not on them. On their boyfriends they bring home.
I'd like to say I want to differ on that. You'll want to use your training on them.
Yeah.
Whether or not you should depends on how good you are at not leaving marks.
Right. Well, true. Yeah, you'll want to because
Little-
girls are bitches.
They don't fuck around.
They're bitches.
They're hardcore. They don't play.
I don't care what anybody
It's so
says.
mean.
They're
I
really
know.
mean.
That's why I was like, well, having girls is good too, because then I can teach them, like, this is how you don't behave. Like, don't be a mean girl. Like, be the one that, like, is like, hey, you're being a bully, and call them out on that. You know what I
Good
mean?
luck. I tried
so it's
that.
like raising the next generation of, like, fearless females that are fearless, like, to say what's right to those
I
mean
hope you
girls.
succeed in that. Seriously.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a goal.
Actually, I
She can do
did.
it.
My girls are pretty good about that, but they are.
Well, no, they've turned out well. The older ones are there. Eva's in that middle now. She's getting there.
It turned out pretty
The
well.
girls turn out fine. They
Sure,
turn
yeah.
out fine. But
They're
there is
all right.
there is a
They're
there's
all
a
right.
Looks
window.
around to see if they're here.
They're adults.
Where are
They're
they?
still alive. You did great.
Yeah. Yes, exactly.
They are adults and alive, so I did do great. And I don't have grandkids yet, and they're older. I mean, they're 20 and almost 21 and almost 19, so
It's okay.
Yep.
that's good, right?
I have 3 grandchildren and
Oh,
they're
oops,
here.
sorry. Did I accidentally?
Did you touch a nerve? No.
Was I offensive right there?
No.
Sorry, Chuck. I didn't mean to be offensive.
Okay, so I'm going to do a light up scale as we're watching the show because every time something we talk about that Leanne does and she gets excited, I want to see which one she actually gets the most excited about. So far, her kids have topped it.
Okay.
Kicking- Aaron kicking his ass is right behind it.
Okay. Okay.
Those seconds.
Well, you
Yeah.
mean
Yeah.
not kick my ass. You mean the challenge.
The challenge.
The
Sorry,
actual-
yeah, challenge.
The actual ass kicking that you're going to
Yeah,
get.
it's a challenge. I haven't lost yet, and neither has she.
You've
So
already lost.
we haven't actually officially stepped
Might
in.
as well just
You know.
lay on the
and,
ground.
And another thing, man, I'm not bowing to your fucking ass. All right, when we stand face to face, I'm Johnny Lawrence. All right, I'm looking you dead in the eye. I'm not bowing shit. I'm not fucking around.
The good thing is you guys are almost the same height, so he will be looking you in the
She's
eye.
as tall as I am too.
How tall are you?
God damn it.
I'm 5'9".
Oh, wow, you are
damn,
tall.
she is tall.
Yeah, that's tall as hell for a girl.
I'm not scared, bro.
For a girl,
I ain't scared.
you just say it's tall as hell. You don't have to say for a girl.
I ain't scared.
So
For a girl
we
that
s-
is tall.
We're running off on a tangent on
Yes,
you.
we are.
I know,
because
but we
it's like
wanna
we know
know
you.
more
'cause
about you.
We've been following you. So what else do you do besides be a mom?
Yes, besides a mom, you are.
List off the things that you do first, and then we'll go into each one.
Sure. So I'm also a personal trainer. I have a degree in nutrition, so I practiced as a registered dietitian before I was a mom. Then I wanted to kind of be present and not working full time with the kids. So I got certified as a personal trainer when we moved here to Indiana, and 95% of my client base are senior citizens.
Wow.
And it has been awesome because I get to work with like peers who are my age, and then I get to train clients that are older than me, and they have such a good perspective on life. And I feel like when I'm training them to help, improve their quality of life, they're mentoring me so that my quality of life can be good too. So I don't know, it's really neat how that's worked out. And then I'm a mom, and I'm also an actor. So what else do you want to know?
What else? What else
Well,
about
she's
you?
a busy lady.
What else is there to know?
Singer, songwriter. I mean,
That's
come
a
on.
lot, though.
Don't
That's
make
busy
us gush
stuff.
on you. We wanted to let you go off for a second, but go ahead.
No, keep gushing. We love it.
Keep gushing.
No, keep going. Is there anything else? It's a lot already, so I don't know
It's
how
a
you
ton
have
of
time
stuff.
for all that. I don't know.
I mean, I'm a follower and a believer of Christ, and that's kind of my core identity. Pretty much motivates everything that I do, comes from that. And I played roller derby for a decade, so I just
I can
forgot
totally
about
see
that.
Shake
So
this down.
I'm kind of a person that's like willing to get into the grit.
Jill of all
things.
trades. You can do everything. It
Yeah.
sounds like.
I'm an athlete. Yeah, I've done played competitive soccer, basketball. I was offered a basketball scholarship, but I turned it down to pursue the degree program that I wanted to. And so I kind of well balanced, I guess.
Yeah, that's a pretty good balance,
insane,
I'd say.
Very much so.
So you're forgetting one thing, though. Where are you originally from?
Canada, Western Canada.
She's
Alberta.
a Canadian. Just like some of your other favorites, Aaron. She's also a Canadian.
See, Canadians
right
are
there
nice.
with Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, they're nice. They're not
Yeah.
mean and crazy and stupid like Americans.
Like us.
No, they're nice. They're generally nice people. Yeah,
Yeah, most generally.
I love
And
it.
where do you live now? You said it already, I know, but I forgot.
Yeah, Lafayette, Indiana. So
Indiana.
right smack
Okay.
dab in the Midwest.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, that's
near the
why
crossroads.
that's why you were playing basketball. She's a Hoosier. She'd be getting down.
I'm a Hoosier at heart.
Yes.
I fit in well.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Good for you. So I had a question. I'm going to start off with a question.
Go ahead.
Okay,
You just
yeah,
go
just
ahead. It's,
go.
it's
Why don't
thank
you?
God it's a talk show.
So-
Questions are good.
There's something that I find that's challenging for an artist, and it's time. Trying to find the time to do these things. And I see that you are always pushing yourself to, better your craft in a way. And you do a lot of monologues. You do a lot of auditions. You do all this work. And I can't help but think sometimes I'm like, okay, she's a mom. She's got these babies at home running around. How the fuck do you find time to do everything that you're doing? How do you do it?
Yeah, I don't sleep a lot. So pretty much like I do training in the morning. My kid goes to first grade, so we've got our 2-year-old. So a couple days a week she goes to childcare, but pretty much I do most of my auditioning and prep work in the afternoon when my little is sleeping, and then in the evening after they go to bed. So from like 8 to 1, 2 sometimes, if I'm up taping or prepping or doing editing or a video or something for submission, that's when I typically do that. And I have to do that because otherwise I'm distracted when I'm with them, and I don't want them to feel like they're unimportant. I want them to feel like they can pursue their dreams, but they also have responsibilities.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's important to reflect that in my actions and to make sure that I'm present with them, spending time with them, and not like always on my phone or doing something else.
Sure.
And that just means like, not a lot of sleep, but
I gotcha.
it's worth it. You got to work hard. You got to hustle. I want them to know they have to work hard for the things that they want.
There you go.
That brings
That's
me
a
back to
beautiful thing.
a conversation that I had with her. It was 7:00 our time, which means it was like 10:00 her time.
Mm-hmm.
And she's unfortunately, I'm trying to pay attention to what she's telling me because we're having a conversation and she's on the treadmill running.
While she's talking to you?
Her husband's next to her because he does a competition shooting. So he's loading his gun and he's loading his rounds next to her while she's running. And while she's running, she has the epiphany, oh, maybe he shouldn't be doing that right underneath the kid's bedroom.
Oh. Multitasking though.
So yeah, but that's 10 o'clock at night.
That
and
is
then
the best of multitasking.
Think about the times that we've caught her 10 o'clock our time, 1 a.m. your time, and you're doing a middle of the night jam session in your closet.
Yeah, in my closet.
Because you just felt like you were inspired to do something. So
yeah,
she's a late night person.
Tell us
I'm
about
an
the
early
jam
morning
session in your closet.
Yeah.
We want to know about this.
My closet jam session.
Yeah, we want to know.
Yeah, I can like strawberry preserves. I also can. I do a lot of jams. But guitar playing guitar. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like in the late hours or like the early morning when your brain starts switching from like this thinking, processing mode to just kind of almost like letting go of like things that you've been thinking about. Like you can't even really concentrate so much on stuff you want to concentrate. That's the time when it's like, I feel you're really free as an artist and uninhibited. And so oftentimes I feel like that's when I don't feel like there's any pressure and I just want to be connected. And so that's typically when I get out my guitar, or sometimes I'll feel like there's something on my heart and I'll go live or feel like somebody needs to hear a song or be inspired or just to keep going. And, you know, lots of us are still at home doing things and it can feel like you're really distanced and away from people. So it's just kind of an opportunity to connect. Yeah. So that's when they strike. Cool. Typically it's not a planned rehearsed practice time.
Okay.
Actually, I've watched one of you're not afraid of emotion at all. Like you'll show how you feel. I love that about you. I think that's great because you're just not, there's no shame. I love that.
Yeah.
I wish I could do that.
Well, that's why Leanne and I are a lot alike in that regard.
Oh,
I don't have any shame either.
No?
It's all on the sleeve, bro. Emotion.
I gotta tell you though, Sam, like it wasn't always that way. I think growing up in theater, I was a straight A student. I was a star athlete and there was a lot of pressure on me to always perform. And I think with that perfectionism comes this real pressure to uphold an image. And drama and theater was a way for me to express what I was really feeling inside.
Oh,
and so the roles that I took were usually really wild and out there because I was stepping into a character and I could just be. And then I would have to step back into my real life and face these pressures as a young person. And those kind of pressures sustained through, you know, college and into my young adulthood. And then sports doesn't really help because sports teaches you to suppress your emotion or channel it towards aggression.
Yep.
And so I would be in these environments, and I grew up competing with guys because I grew up in a small town, so they didn't have girl sports. So if I wanted to play, I had to play with boys. And you don't cry, you won't get playtime if you show weakness. So you have to be tough, and that's just how I grew up. And so when I started plateauing a couple years ago, I wasn't doing anything creative. And I felt like it was really on my heart and my spirit that if I wanted to grow as a human being, I just had to start making myself vulnerable. And I didn't go to theater because it was too comfortable. It was too much. People, they clap for you. They throw, hopefully they clap for you. I mean, I might throw a fruit, but
getting eggs thrown at you.
But there's an immediate gratification. There's an immediate response. You can hear the audience, responding to what your performance is doing. And it feeds that attention. And so film was different because it forced you to be vulnerable and you couldn't even see it.
Yeah.
You had to feel it. And the camera's so close that you can't lie. The audience will just check out. And so what the push was for me was that I really felt like I had to inhabit and understand who these characters were that I was playing to make sure that what I was feeling was true and real. And because I want to connect with the audience, even though I don't know who they are and I can't see them, I believe that there are people who are based on these characters and who can identify with these characters, and that as an actor, I have the responsibility to be fearless, to go places where some people might be afraid to go, just so that somebody might be touched or changed, or just have that access to their soul or their heart. It's in a responsibility. So I take that quite seriously. But it did force me to be vulnerable. It's uncomfortable. But it's not a natural thing. It's something that I think is natural that we learn to suppress. And you
Definitely.
start, as an actor, start uncovering it again.
Mm-hmm. You learn to have shame around your emotion. Yeah.
But she identified it.
But
back
no,
then. That's the thing. And that's the trick.
Like, how did you do that?
Yeah, being able to identify that is the trick. Like looking at something inside you that you know you can do better at.
Honestly,
that's awesome.
That's crazy. And to see like you be able to, because not only have I seen some of your acting, but I've also seen you be real on your social media, like real, like your emotion there. So like, how do you, should I say the question? How should I phrase this? How do you separate those emotions, those ones that are not necessarily real, or do you tap into the real to get that out when you're acting? Does that make sense? My question?
That's a great question. Yeah. So I think there's pluses and minuses to tapping into your own emotion. I think, I don't set an intention to draw from my own emotions when I'm taking on a character, because I feel that I want it to be real to what the character is experiencing and the situation that the character is experiencing. And to contrive something from my own personal life that might not fit that situation is dishonest. So I really try to understand and learn my character, even if I don't know what they've gone through. I'll speak with people who maybe have gone through similar circumstances and look at them in the eye and see what they're feeling and see what they're experiencing and connect with that. And that's usually when those situations become real in the moment when I'm acting. If there is a situation that I can relate to that's real for the character and real for me, it's hard to separate that. It'll come out naturally. But it's very emotionally exhausting and it can be very draining. So as an actor, like we have to be very careful to be mindful of our own limitations. And when you just need to take a break, or when you need to start, just disconnecting from your own personal life in order to be honest with the character. But yeah, being real and authentic is super important. And if you can't do it from your own feelings, you have to learn what your character is feeling and find people who've experienced that so that you can have a human connection to that material.
Interesting.
It's such an art form.
It is. And
it's crazy.
It's amazing how you can pull off the emotion like you can.
Yeah.
I was super impressed watching your stuff, just your emotion that you really pulled that off. Like, it's amazing. It's really, really good. And your ability to like cry on cue, I don't know how you do that. I really don't.
Neither.
Like, I don't know how you do that.
It's
and
fascinating.
it doesn't even look like a fake cry like some do. It looks like a real emotional cry.
Yeah.
I was really impressed by that kind of stuff because your emotion really comes through really well. So
it looks she
kudos.
cries like I actually beat her in a fight already. Like when she's laying there and she's like crying about it, and I'm like, I'm sorry, girl. I told you. I'll give her a hand.
Don't worry,
to
Leanne.
pick her back up and be like, you can do
like
this.
you just beat
But,
his ass too. He does,
We both cry.
and he really cries about
That
it.
was so good, but I'm so sorry.
Okay, wait a second though, and Leanne knows I can sit here and gush on her because I've been following her for a while now. But
That's the second time you've said gush, by the way.
I know that's my word for the day. So, but my question for you is:
oh.
I've seen a lot of your things lately, and it's all been emotional. I want to see a batshit crazy Leanne doing something for her audition tapes. I want to see the
Glenn Close come out.
There's
something.
your challenge.
Yeah.
There's your challenge. Send us something different.
We want to see some batshit crazy.
I do have some batshit crazy auditions. In fact, there was a series that was going to be taping. It's going to be taping on the West Coast, and they were casting for it. And I made it to the top 4 finalists for that. There was 1,000 submissions.
Oh my gosh!
And
Good job.
And I was like, this was awesome because not many women tried out for this role, like basically like that audition. And they were not expecting that kind of batshit crazy to come out.
That's cool.
Who is this? And because there's a different kind of scary when it's a woman. I think like when you have a big, like strong, tall guy, it's easy to be intimidated or scared by something like that. But I'm 5'9", but I'm not, massive or huge or like going to be just like, I'm strong because I'm angry. It's like a inner, like, think like Anthony Hopkins,
Yeah.
6 or 7 minutes of screen time. And it's like, just the whole time he's just thinking, I'm going to eat you. Like, if I
Exactly.
wasn't-
Yeah. Yeah. And they start with your heart, and then they go to your liver. They don't fuck around. Yeah, seriously. You guys don't. It's scary.
It was like terrifying. And they kept bringing me back in doing callbacks and stuff like that. And then they made it down and they made a decision and went the other way. And it was funny because I told them, I said, well, y'all know if I was in person in the room, who would have won that fight, right? And then I find out who they cast is this big black dude. I'm choking on my words because he's huge. And he's like, has his own swords and stuff. And I was like, okay, I can't compete with that. I'm not big, black, or a man. So clearly.
There's certain things I'll do for a role.
So like, we can have Leanne, or we can, there was no. It was like it had to be one or the other. There was no close like.
Right.
I don't know. I kind of disagree.
Right up
like,
there.
I think
fun.
your balls are pretty big.
Yeah,
I really do.
big balls.
I think
But
you have
yeah,
big
no,
balls.
She does. I mean, she
I
challenged me
think
in
you
the
might
first
have-
60 seconds of the podcast.
Right?
She didn't fuck around.
Stop.
Oh,
Wait.
Sorry. Well,
I almost agreed with you for a
I
second.
know she did. I almost got her. I
take that
almost
back.
got her.
Rewind. I'm gonna pull that line back.
No, but that's awesome though, because I mean,
That was
it wasn't a typecast type role you were going for. It was an open role, which means going to the top 4. That's amazing.
That
No,
is
it's cool.
amazing. It's really amazing.
Well, it takes courage. She's got a lot of courage, obviously.
And you were on.
And-
Were
go
you
ahead.
not on a series, a TV show?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Chicago PD.
Tell us about that.
Chicago
Yeah,
PD?
I would be back this season already, but they have limitations on out-of-state talent. So they're in Illinois. They film in Illinois. I'm in Indiana. And they have limitations on out-of-state talent. So they were going to bring me in this weekend, actually, and I have a podcast with you guys.
Oh.
So it's and I was like, no, I made a commitment, and that's my heart. Like, I think that honoring your commitments is a key for establishing and building relationships, and relationships mean a lot to me because I'd rather have meaningful relationships with people in this industry than superficial ones just to elevate myself. That's not who I want to be. So I think it's important, to set standards for yourself really early on because there's a lot of compromises you can make.
Bro.
But there'll be other opportunities. They had me come on as I just wanted to get on a large scale production, like a TV episodic, like Chicago PD is totally up my alley. Work on a big set, work with some big name actors, which I've got to do, and just watch and learn from them.
Exactly.
Because I'm in my 3 years doing film. I'm still learning a ton.
Mm-hmm.
And, I look at what to do and what not to do. And I see how the guest stars are doing things that I'm like, I wouldn't do that. Or directors get mad, and you learn by being on a big set and watching. And you also work with a lot of the background actors. And in a ton of projects, background actors are kind of like, oh, they're the background actors. But background actors really add a lot of volume to a scene. They make it realistic. They make it real. It helps draw the audience in. And it's such a humble place to put yourself as an actor when you do indie and short films, is to go work on a large scale production and work as a background actor and be like, you cannot ever be at a place in your career where you're like, I'm better than that person.
Right.
You might be more suited, but you cannot have that mentality and allow yourself to have that mentality, because if you're not humble, then, it's, I think it'll ruin you. You have to stay humble. And so that's my whole intention was I'm going to cancel all my plans and drive 2 hours to Chicago to maybe be in a scene that won't ever be even played on the show. But it's worth it because I get to be with people that are different than me, and I get to learn, and it's good breakup. It's a good breakup from having to memorize a ton of lines. Just go show up and be tough and, hang out with some cool people. But yeah, they're going to invite me back this weekend, which I was excited for, but there'll be other opportunities we find.
So
as a core detective with their background crews. So yeah, it's good times there.
That's really cool, but I was lost in the middle of that. What does the word humble mean? What does that mean? I don't even understand what that means. That's a big word.
I've been trying to teach him for 15
I'm trying to
years
figure that word
what
out.
that word means.
I mean, I was following her up to that, and I'm like, what is she talking about? I don't even know.
That was also in Charlotte's Web, by the way.
Yeah, watch Charlotte's Web, for crying out loud.
Come on.
Isn't that the pig movie? The
Get
pig
over
one?
yourself.
The pig in the barn?
It is one of the pig movies. Yes.
spider or something in it?
Spider.
Yeah.
That's
Spider
Charlotte's
in it.
Web.
Have you ever seen it?
I thought it was some woman who was with a bunch of guys.
You're
A
stupid.
web of guys. That wasn't it? No.
No.
Do you read, Aaron? I'm curious.
I tried. I started last week. I'm getting there. I'm doing pretty good.
You read
Dr. Seuss throws them off still.
That was hard. That's hard. It's challenging. I'm supposed to write a paper on it.
He's written 6 screenplays and 5 novels, and he still can't figure out how to read.
No. I don't read as much as I used to,
Took
Leanne.
him
I used to.
years to read my book.
Your poetry book, yes, it did.
Yeah.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Hey, wait,
It did.
whoa. I'm going to cut everybody off right there.
what?
In his defense, it took you years to share it, Sam.
I shared it with him. Okay. So let's just.
You share a lot with him. I wouldn't exactly brag about that.
I wouldn't either, but you know.
But I used to read a lot. Do you read a lot, Leanne, still? Do you have time for that, too?
So I typically don't read a ton, but I have been reading a book lately because I'm auditioning for a part, and
Okay.
this has been really awesome. So I got my sides in there. It's a book by Dave Payton called The Rise of Grace. And the reason I kept reading it was because I think it's written for people with ADD.
Oh, perfect.
A lot of circular
it hops from
references.
character to character. Yeah. And, it just forces you to be like, okay, what's going on? And the best books that I like to read are short novels. I've always loved reading short stories. I'm a huge short story fan.
Mm-hmm.
And because I just something that goes on and on and on and on. I'm like, I just want to watch the movie.
So you don't like Stephen King? You don't read some Stephen King books?
Oh my
me
gosh,
neither.
I have
Like,
to be really
holy.
careful about what I read too and watch because that will that kind of darkness is like I have a very impressionable mind. I have a very vivid imagination. So I have to be really I have to set a lot of boundaries around that because I just even in acting and stuff like that too, I have to be really careful because I'm not afraid to go to those places, but it's hard to pull yourself out when you get into something like that.
While you're on that subject, I have a question about,
Yeah,
I want to know
sure.
about conspiracy theories then. If you're impressionable, like, are you, like, vulnerable to that kind of stuff? Like,
No,
believing, no.
No, she's Canadian,
that.
so no.
You just, okay.
No.
Well, I was just
Canadians
curious.
are nice.
I
Remember?
was just curious because an impressionable mind can go either that way or
True.
not.
Yeah.
True.
So
Yeah.
see
I was
what you're
just
saying.
curious.
No, I think like I have a science degree. I mean, I have.
Oh, okay, so
we studied
that-
research. Yeah,
that helps.
I mean, like you got to check things out.
Mm-hmm.
You don't take anything at face value. Like, if you've been hurt by people, then you have trust. You know, you learn like be wary of who you trust. And I think I'm a natural pessimist too. I'm a trained optimist. I like to say. I naturally think about the worst thing that could happen and then go back from there.
That's what I
So
do.
I'm like, okay.
You forget to go back,
like,
though.
This
I
is
do
the
go
worst
back.
thing that could happen. So now that I understand that that's the worst thing that could happen, it's probably not going to happen.
Right.
But so then nothing ever really like surprises you. Like you're not really overly let down.
Yes.
You're like,
I
Yeah.
totally
and
know
I
what you're
think as
saying.
an actor, that's important to have because there's so much rejection in this industry. You have to be like, okay, the worst thing is I could not get this role.
Mhm.
Well, there could be a lot more worse things than that. But I'm just saying, like, so I have to go in with the expectation that I'm just going to be fearless and give it my best.
Right.
But I think, I definitely am more logical processing. I hear people what they're saying. I'm like, okay, tell me more about that. And if people are willing to answer questions, then I'm more willing to listen.
Right.
Because then, if they're deflecting and this kind of thing, I'm like, I don't believe you.
Yeah.
I totally get what she's saying.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if like a Sharknado attacked me going to a shoot and I'm like, oh great, well there's our movie, it's over. Should have seen it coming. I knew it. I mean, I literally can get that far in my head, so nothing surprises me either. In the same regards, I know exactly what she's saying. There is a level of I don't know if it's an intellectual thing. I don't know how to describe what you're saying other than the way you did, but it's true.
She described it really well.
She did. I mean, I know exactly what she's talking about. I do it all the time.
I just don't see that as being you, though.
I didn't say that I react afterwards like she does, but it doesn't surprise me when.
Right.
That's why I'm not afraid. I don't have that fear. That anxiety is something I embrace more than,
So in the humbleness, the thing you want to know more about,
What's
that's
that word?
what you need. That's what you need.
Don't you envy
You put some of that in there, you might be cool. You might be as good of a person as Leanne.
Can you Google the word first? I need a definition on it.
Speaking of humility, I'm keeping a tally of how many conversation points I'm winning against Aaron.
Oh yes.
Oh, you got a tally? So is she being humble right now?
Oh
with
yeah,
that?
she
that-
is.
Humble.
She's got so many tally points against you right now.
See,
It's
she's
ridiculous.
athletic.
Like,
She's talking shit because we're on the field right now. That's what we're doing. Yeah, you guys don't get that. You guys didn't play sports, so it's okay. It's fine.
Who the hell are you in this room with? Are you paying attention to anything?
You always got hurt.
Oh,
You
my
never
God.
really played. You were there, but you just never played. He never had a chance to play. He got hurt all the time. Anyway,
Wow, Aaron.
so you do music too, though.
wow.
So what you got into drama when you were younger?
Yeah.
That's what you said. Okay, so how did you fall into music? I mean, you do a lot of musical things too, so like songs and singing and shit. How did
Literally
you get that?
fell into it.
Okay.
Because I don't even think I was never formally trained, and I had really horrific experiences in music class with like a recorder and a ukulele.
Fucking recorder,
And, like,
bro.
There was no connection to it. It was like, play this, and I never did choir. I didn't do musical theater. I literally think I was watching like a Michelle Branch video, a music video. I was like, oh dude, she looks super hot playing the guitar. I bet I would look super hot playing the guitar. So that's like at a high school level.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
And then I got the guitar and I was like, well, I don't know how to play it. So you're you know.
Michelle Branch, is that like that 1,000 Mile song? Like that? Is that what that is?
Is that Vanessa Carlton?
I don't
Oh,
remember.
I think so. I don't know who.
Yeah,
well, I
nobody
don't
even
know.
knows.
Music's
But
your thing,
she
Sam.
might
That's what
even
you're
be
supposed to keep track
Canadian,
of.
which might be why you don't know. Anyway.
I bet she's super
I'm
nice.
not sure I do know who
Yeah.
you're speaking of though. But
It was picking up a guitar was a very superficial thing at first. Like it was like, oh, like I think I just want to be a chick that can play the guitar,
And look
then it
badass.
just sat there.
Mhm.
It just sat there. And I asked a friend, like he was learning how to play guitar to show me like how to strumming pattern, and then printed off a chord chart. And it was like, I don't know, it was like looking at like what's that science table? I can't even periodic.
oh, the
Periodic
periodic
table,
table,
right,
yeah.
And I hated chemistry. But anyway, so I'm like, what is this? So trying to figure that out. Once you learn a few chords, I was like, and you have a pattern, you're like, oh, okay. And I modeled for a while in high school and shit went down, and it was like they were super pushing unhealthy stuff on me, and I was like, no, I'm not going to compromise that. Like I can't be a stick and be competing in basketball.
Mhm.
So and the problem is like you get a ton of attention and reinforcement from the world and your peers, and in high school, like, oh, you're so pretty, like, oh, like blah, blah, blah. And you're like, yeah, I'm like super sick and unhealthy, but thanks. And so when they were like, hey, we want you to keep getting more super sick and unhealthy, I was like, I'm done. Like, that's it. No, like I'm running out my contract. I'm not doing this anymore. I don't want to go to New York. I don't want to do anything for you guys. And I ran out my contract. I just picked up my guitar and I was just like, and like, just started like playing and strumming, and the words just started coming, and I just started writing them down, and I didn't know. I was like, okay, I think this is what this chord is, and I think that's what this chord is, and and then basically piece that together. And then at our grad show, it was like senior year, we had this like performance, and I was like, I'm gonna get up on stage and just like play this, and people were like, what the hell, like like miss like this person. And I was like, my senior directing project was dark as shit. I'm swearing now because I'm getting comfortable, so I'm sorry. I'm like, yeah.
No, please.
Oh, you're fine.
It was super dark, and like it was just like, and then this song, and it was like this whole other layer, and I was like, you know what, like I experienced that in high school. Like people are going to praise you for being someone that you're not.
Okay.
And like we need to understand that is not what living your best life is getting accolades for being someone who you're not.
Mm-hmm.
You're just getting praised for this image of some person who's not really you. And it's this constant, like, reject that and embrace who you are. Even if people say, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't look like that. Like, don't ugly cry. Don't, you need to be a strong woman, but you have to look this way or whatever. Like, you have to reject that. Otherwise, you're just going to hate yourself because you're just living a life that somebody else wants for you, not your own life.
You're full of shit.
So
I got
that's
you.
how I picked it. Yeah, I picked up the guitar, and I was like, that's where it started. I just started writing music, and it was like a huge outlet for me. And people were like, you should take lessons. And I was like, no, this is not something that somebody's going to structure over my life or that I'm going to feel like I have to do. I'm going to do it when I want to, and it's going to be a way of connecting with God. It's going to be a way of connecting with who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And that was really what it was for a very long time. After that, I never performed for a very long time or played music in front of everybody. It was a very intimate thing.
Is it a form of expression for you?
I was going to ask the same thing. Yeah. You said that about your acting too on that creative side. So you get the same level of balance from both? Do you feel the same, or that's cool?
Yeah, and music is really important to connect with acting too. Like for Idol Girl, I listened to a ton of punk rock music because I skateboarded and did mountain biking growing up, and I really was bullied and picked on. I really was not.
It's still happening to me here in the show. So.
Yeah, I just did not fit in. So I punk rock, I like prepping for this role. I was like, oh my gosh, yes. Like music and connecting, it taps into certain parts of your soul and who you are. Mm-hmm. And so I find music is a very powerful way of preparing for a role. Sometimes music that doesn't have words, and you just kind of soak in it and allow yourself to feel like what this character is going through. Like through Eyes of Grace, I just prepped for the lead and submitted my tape. And I remember I was like, listening to this music, and I was like, I really want this role. And I just felt so convicted. Like that was so selfish. Like here are people like this person who's based on real people that do this job every day, and they have to go through that. And I started just like sobbing. Like I was like, this isn't a game for them. This isn't just a movie for them. This is their life, and they don't get to put it down and walk away and prep for something else. Like they pick up their badge, they put their gun in their holster, they go to job like every day. Mm-hmm. And I was like, it was just brought a whole nother level of responsibility that when I went and did the tape, I was like, screw it. I was like, I don't care who they think that this person is supposed to be. If she's from New York, she's going to be tough as shit. And if grew up in New York, and if they think she's going to be this pretty little, like she's not. And in this case, like she is going to, it's all on the line. So that's where I left it. And I just submitted that, and I was like, you know what? And if it's not what they want, they don't want me, then that's it. Somebody else will. And those will be the people I want to work with. So I have high hopes because I think it's a great film, and I think the team around it would have to be awesome. But we'll see. We'll always see.
Same. Ask your question again.
Yeah.
Are you an empath?
No.
Really? Because you sounded like one right there.
I am learning. Mm-hmm. I am learning to listen and understand.
Well, you sounded like one. You pulled it off like right there in that. No, I don't mean pulled it off like fake pulled it off. No, but you sounded like one when you were talking right there.
Yeah.
Your ability to tap into someone else's feelings and stuff. I think that's important for a role when you're doing especially a serious role in acting, to be able to tap into someone else's feelings and someone else's life and emotions and all that stuff. You hit on that a lot, so that's why I was wondering.
And it makes me ask you about Sam, because she is an empath.
I am.
She is that way. And I think that's why she's good at acting, but she just doesn't like acting. But Sam,
I hate acting so much.
But do you like being an empath, though?
Well, I do and I don't. I mean, there's bad things about it. I don't have boundaries like empaths should.
Okay.
So I get walked on a lot. I get walked on more than the concrete at Grand Central Station.
Stop making
but
such hard eye contact with Aaron.
I know, she's just staring at me when she says this. I'm like, Jesus.
Because he's one of those. You
can just see me on the screen.
He walks back and forth.
She's like...
I'm that bus again.
I am big time an empath, though, and I just need to learn how to set boundaries.
But you embrace it, though.
Well, I embrace it. I do like it because I think that there's nothing wrong with being tapped into how other people feel. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I think it's a great thing. I think everyone should know how to do it. Mm-hmm. You should know what it feels like to be somebody else, walk in someone else's shoes, and at least try to understand someone.
I gotcha.
But does that mean I agree with you? But at the same time, I have to make the argument that it's one thing to feel that, to walk in somebody else's shoes, but you got to take the damn things off and get back in and get out of that
That's the boundary
That's
that
what
I'm talking
part she
about.
works on.
Yeah, that's what I work on because I can't. I do struggle with that part of it. Yes.
Well, it
Big
kind of
time.
ties in with what Leanne was talking about of being, embracing who you are and being
Yeah.
real, that type of thing. And I don't think it's a bad thing for you to be an empath, but finding a way to be yourself. Like, I like being me, right? But I can
Obviously.
I can go too far. I can
A
go
little
too
bit,
far
little
in a
bit.
lot of ways. And I'm not just saying like, stupidity, like I'm silly on the show and shit. But that's a part of me though. That's who I am, right? But when I get angry, it goes too far.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Sweet.
When I get emotional or sad, I get defensive way too far. And learning how to have boundaries in those areas that you struggle in is the struggle. That's the challenge that everybody has. We all have our own thing. Leanne wasn't one of those people who could just go out there and do this stuff. She had to learn, and then she found acting to help her identify and figure out that one
And
thing
faith.
that bug, that really got her. So I don't like having deep conversations on our podcast, but this is some legit shit.
No, it is. No, it's true though.
seriously,
It's
though.
true though. It's
It
true
is.
though.
Well, here, before you decide to hop on a plane, Leanne, and come join us for one of our next escapades that we're going to have.
Escapades?
Well,
let's
we'll
paint-
scare
let's paint
her
a
away
picture.
by
So
the end
you
of this,
already-
I'm sure.
You already
Don't
know
scare
how
her.
much of an empath that Sam is, and she doesn't want to be in front of she doesn't want to be in front of the camera anymore. She wants to do more stuff behind. But here, let me paint a scenario for you. So Aaron and I were sitting at a stop sign one time, or excuse me, we were waiting to join into traffic one day, and traffic was horrible. And he starts screaming. I'm driving, and he starts screaming at the people who won't let us in.
Yeah, I start yelling.
And he looked at me and he was like, doesn't this make you mad? I'm like, of course it does. And I just reminded him that I just sit there and think about what it would feel like if I were to squish their eyes in my fingers. And that kind of gets me through traffic some days.
Yeah.
So,
But
how about that plane ticket? You ready to come out here and join us on an escapade? An excursion?
But do you think
It'll be in the woods.
Do you think that's why you sometimes don't feel good?
Oh,
you
God.
hold that shit in.
But I don't hold it in. I'm a horror guy. You said you can go dark and go too dark and not come out of it. I lived that way for most of my life. I've been a horror guy. Bad stories. I understand the dark stuff that people don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can understand a scenario in people's heads to where being a serial killer type personality makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why you write them so good. I mean, I get what he's
Right.
saying.
Is
I
that why you're
understand.
being investigated for all those? No.
There's no
I gotta
investigation.
go.
There she goes.
You're 1,300 miles away. You're fine.
Say, oops.
You're safe.
Just walk a little slower when you do those vignettes, with you outside with your kids. That way I can get the actual address. No, I'm kidding.
He
but no,
actually
but
looks for victims, not like.
the funny thing
you're not a
is
victim.
these are the
This
details.
is evidence. This is future evidence. There's no way you would
Save it.
Plausible deniability.
Yeah.
But anyway, no, sorry. So that's just it. That's just it. Is you talked about that idea of going to that dark place and not being able to come out of it, and I lived in that dark place for so long that I actually have been starting to come out of it. So, like Aaron has always said, when he made the challenge for somebody else in our group of people that we work with to write a story, and I wrote a faith-based Christian film, he was like, "What?
What?
What?"
Yeah. Didn't see that coming.
Kind of what?
Yeah. Knocked me for a loop. But you know what's cool though? That I really like, because I like what you're saying, because that's us being real and showing that side of each of us that we need to try to do better. Leanne too. But what's fascinating to me, and both you guys have faith. Chuck's found his, you have yours. I don't have mine, right? But I like the fact that you guys are still able to be cool and not be and not be judgmental and shit about
pray
way
for
somebody
you.
talks.
I'll pray for
She's gonna pray for you. Please pray
You're
for
in my
him.
thoughts
He
and
needs.
prayers.
He needs a
But-
prayer.
But I know, we see what I'm saying, like, Chuck has no problem making a horror movie, you know what I mean? Or a faith-based movie, or an action movie, or a comedy. You're the same way. I see you're in a Batman movie, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
You're doing
Not
an
just
indie movie.
one.
That's
Yeah.
cool as shit. I mean, you're doing things, and you do faith-based films, but, you don't have, like, well, since I'm a Christian, I'm not going to be in that type of film. If there's a purpose, it seems to be in the stories for you guys. You portray the character in a real way. And that's kudos to you guys for doing that and not putting blinders on Like I would worry about, like when Chuck wrote a faith-based, I'm like, dude, are you going to write a scary movie? Because you could do those. It'll be good. You don't. I don't just want to do faith-based movies all the time.
We're a little bit more comfortable with that.
But it's cool. So do you find yourself like open-minded that way though? Like I imagine you are with your film choices. Oh, okay.
I mean, I think. Oh wait, are you asking Chuck or
No, you. Yeah, I know enough about Chuck.
Yeah, we know enough about him. We
They
want
know
to know
too much
about you.
about me.
Yeah, and his ass. Yeah.
We want to know about you.
Yeah, you know, I think it's really important. Like, you know, you're talking about faith is like, you know, I consider myself I am a Christian, but I think that there's even Orthodox Jews would say like they don't mind Jesus. It's Christians that they mind, because the rabbinical model is like people who say they follow somebody, like they would be like at his feet, like following him and watching him like 24/7. Like they know what his heart is, what he says, and like what he does. But like that's not what most Christians do. Most Christians are like, you know, we have this head knowledge, but then we don't want to go out and actually love people that aren't like us. And I don't think that reflects the heart of Jesus. And so my whole heart and what I see is like, if I'm going to call myself a Christian, then I'm going to be in the world, like in the world that we live in. And if he says not to judge people, that means I need to understand them. And I can't understand them if I don't listen to them. And I can't listen to people if I don't ask them questions and seek out a relationship. And so I feel like I intentionally try to find people who I don't agree with, because if I just surrounded myself with agreeable people, then I feel like I won't grow and I won't learn and I won't be able to truly love. Like it's easy to love people who are like you, but what if you love people who aren't like you?
It's Sam. It's Sam.
So
Sam.
interesting, though,
you are not a Christian faith-based person. You don't go to church, Sam. But everything
I'm
she
extremely
said,
spiritual.
Yeah,
I'm a spiritual person.
but everything she said is you.
Yeah, it's absolutely
It's weird.
is. And I wish you would listen to that stuff. So hopefully you listen.
Are you talking about me?
Yeah. Yeah.
What's that word?
Just like Sam.
Yeah.
Somebody
So
else
when
says something that you said previously. It doesn't stick until somebody else says it. But
So
you've
I'm
said it
hoping-
100 times. Same thing with
I'm
Leanne.
hoping her words
Her
stick
words
to your
going to
ears,
Aaron's
go
ears.
inside,
Sure.
get all comfortable.
Well, I just found it fascinating, you know, that she's talking about her faith and you know what guides her in that way, but you don't have that faith in the same way, but you think the same
kind of faith, but I do think the same way. Absolutely, I do.
It's
But
weird.
it's about spirituality. I think more than actual. Well,
it could be anything,
it's,
right?
you know,
That's what's
everybody.
weird. Everybody's different.
Yeah,
It's fascinating to me.
It's just because it's not a particular Jesus or God for me doesn't mean that we can't feel exactly the same way.
Correct.
It's a higher being. It's a spiritual being. I'm spiritual. I just don't necessarily know. That's all.
That's okay.
I don't know.
That's fine.
But I am very spiritual, so I can connect with people that are Christians.
Yeah.
For that reason, because there's a spiritual aspect of faith that I identify with a lot.
You do. It's fascinating.
So yeah, I can connect on that.
It's weird. It's
Even
weird
though
to me.
I'm not necessarily I wouldn't consider myself necessarily a Christian or a believer in God per se.
Yeah.
But I'm still.
But you have the tendency.
Well, and I just don't know. That's all. I just don't know.
Wow.
Well, if you want to know, you can feel free to reach out to me, ask me more questions.
Yeah.
There's a whole lot I don't know. And I think like with film and with movies, that's the most important thing is basically like, you know, they'll be like, well, I'm an actress. I'm not going to do this and this and this. And I think it's important to have personal boundaries because I'm a mother, I'm a wife. So, you know, there are certain things that in our relationship we've talked about what we won't do. But in terms of my faith, like somebody's like, well, would you play a prostitute? And I'm like, yeah. Well, would you play a stripper? Yeah. Well, would you play like, yes, I would, because these are real people and these are real women. And you know what? Like if the world says there's a stereotype that a stripper is just going to be a stripper and that's all she is, like, hell no. You don't think she could be like me or like Sam, who is like searching or looking or like living out their life. And you just see these people as like face value. And I think like even we don't understand their situations that when I take on a character, I bring that element to them because I feel like every person has a spiritual part of who they are. And like that our morals and our values dictate our choices rather than just being like this robot that just does things because the script says it does. Like, where's the humanity in that? Where's the person? Where's the woman? And so that's kind of what I like to tap into. And I'm not afraid of taking on roles and being basically blacklisted. Like, I was like, well, Idol Girl will probably blacklist me from every faith-based film that is like, well, they can't smoke on screen, they can't drink on screen, they can't swear, because I do all of those things. And I was like, well, I'm going to do this because this is a real person. This are real struggles that people go through. And also, I don't want to work with filmmakers who have that bias.
That's
Good for you.
That's
They're going to be like, we want this actress in our film, and we see her heart. Those are the people I want to work with.
There you go. Badass.
I want to see your heart.
No, I
Look
love
at that.
I love
Oh, for fuck's sakes.
No, I love that. You're a very inspirational person. You really are. You really are. And the way that you say things is very inspirational.
Mm-hmm.
I actually love that. I love the way you said that.
It's usually, inspiration is usually born through some form of suffering or pain.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
yeah.
you know, like, it's just a matter of being able to share it. I think everybody has the ability to inspire. You just have to be willing to show your scars, you know?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think that's why I'm like the son of inspiration. Like, there's so much shit I've been through in my life. It just pours out of me.
Oh, stop it
People
right now.
just come. They follow the heat.
The trick to being inspirational would be to share your story, not make up other ones.
What do you mean? You want me to share my story?
Go ahead.
I do every week.
Oh, my Lord.
No, you share hidden aspects of your personality through sarcasm and witticism.
Oh, what are you, Dr. Phil now?
Witticism.
Jesus Christ. What do you No,
However,
keep going. What do you say?
However, people who sit down and get to know you
Yes.
and know your actual story,
Yes.
you are inspiring to those people, which is why we're still friends, asshole.
Oh, thanks.
Aaron.
Oh, see,
I'm
that's
sorry, I'm looking
being
at the
sweet.
screen.
I
That was
I
actually
need to
really
change
nice.
my name to something.
That's gushy.
No, we like yours. Yours is great.
No, okay, everybody's giving me shit because I'm talking about how I'm gushing over you. Now, why am I gushing over Leanne being on
Well,
our podcast
we understand
today?
now.
Because
I
not
understand
only
now. I understand.
this one, well, I'm telling the listeners who actually don't know.
Yeah.
So not only did this wonderful woman was somebody who I sent our original script to for Say Goodbye, and she read it and sent back some pointers.
Okay.
But not only that, her being the singer,
Yeah, go ahead, get
All
it
of
out.
that?
songwriter that she is donating one of her songs to our movie.
Oh, that's right.
So,
Yes.
and I like to use the word gush because it made me remember I wanted to make sure I told that to our listening audience that, you know, it's all about who you know. And doing this podcast is giving us an outreach to meet people from all over the world.
Yes.
And good old Indiana also.
Yes.
And also I wanted to have you on the show just to prove that, you know, having a Christian friend doesn't mean that they're weird.
Yeah, can
Aaron?
we tell? Wait.
How am I
tell some
supposed
truth
to
here?
talk on the
Let's-
show with her on the show? I'm
Let's
like,
get real here. Let's get real for a second and tell
try not
some
to fucking
truth.
offend her, but just talk.
Hello.
You
Just tell
have
some
to do a
truth
lot to
right now.
offend me.
Let's be all kinds of honest right now.
Okay, what's that mean?
Were
Yeah.
you and I not terrified about because we are not necessarily
Yeah.
Christian people? Well,
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard for me to explain.
We
But I'm not a person that I don't believe in aliens either.
Yeah.
If I can't see it, I don't
Yeah.
believe it. I don't believe it because I can't see it. So
What she's saying is, I think overall we were nervous because we didn't want to
we
offend
didn't know
you.
if we could connect or if we would offend
can
you
be
or
Like,
yourself.
we say
I
a lot
played-
of fucks on this show.
And we gave, yeah, we do. And we gave Chuck a lot of crap because we were like just ranking on him, making fun of him.
'Cause it's fun to do.
Yeah, like making him nervous that we weren't going to be good podcasters with you.
'Cause he's a kid.
No, we're like,
guys
we're
are
gonna
my
do this, we're
I
gonna do
know.
that. No, we were
You
teasing
were
him
my
though.
people.
But we were
No.
we were scared. I was scared. I
Yeah.
was like, I don't know if I can connect with this person because we just knew that you were a Christian person, and that was
Yeah, and I look at
that was a lot. I mean, that was basically what we knew about you
Mm-hmm.
until we watched your stuff, and then I was like, oh, this chick's
yeah, she's a
She's
badass.
badass.
Yeah.
I already knew, but so I knew it wasn't quite like that, but we just, we were kind of intimidated. I was intimidated
Sure.
personally.
Well, I wasn't
Well,
because
he
I know
wasn't-
I can just
he
kick
doesn't
your
get
ass back.
intimidated,
No,
but-
I'm not joking. But no, it's kind of like
you've actually come to be a extremely inspirational person.
Yes, she
For
is.
one thing. And yeah, not like we were expecting. Was it? Is it?
No, it's actually it's way more relaxed than I figured. I was really going to try to be a little more PC. I really was.
He was going to try not to say fuck.
I did, because I didn't want to offend
These
you at all.
heathens have
Because
no idea how to act.
I wanted to be respectful
know.
in case, because Leanne, I don't know you.
Yeah.
I know Chuck. I know I can get away with saying crazy shit around. Oh shit! I just beat that thing. I can say whatever I want around Chuck. I don't care. But I don't know you, so I don't want to be offensive. You know what I mean?
Always
That's
worrisome.
really nice.
It's always worrisome with
That is-
Aaron
that-
offending people because he's offensive. Yeah.
I'm not offensive.
To me, you are.
I'm very humble.
That is super sweet. But Aaron, who was your buddy who came to the opening, and he was going to let us try and use his church that he worked with? He's
Jeremy Wallace.
Jeremy Wallace.
Yeah.
And one of the things Aaron even started. Aaron grew up with this guy in high school. They played football together and all these different things. And he's like, dude, you're weird now because you're like the leader of a church. And he was like, dude, don't fucking think about it that way. And Aaron was like,
Oh shit! He said F.
wait, what?
Yeah. He's a pastor and everything. He just drops F-bombs, and I love the guy dearly, and that's really cool. That's really
Well,
cool.
because that's not what it's about, Aaron. That's
I don't
the
know.
misconception that I think that people like you and I who have that because we don't necessarily believe in God or whatever, then we have a disconnection from understanding that they're just people too.
Well, put it
they're
this way.
people too.
Yes.
You're people.
Here's a good.
It's not like
thank you.
you're all like.
Yes, I strive
Here's
to
a
be
great
person.
analogy, though.
I don't know about you.
I have a great.
Checked.
I got a super good analogy for you. I ran into
tell me.
I ran into Christian people a long time ago that were really weird.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's-
Hold on.
yeah.
Just let me finish real quick.
Me
I
They
too.
were, they
believe you.
really,
Me too.
really were weird. Okay. And they really freaked me out.
Cult like weird like.
So it's almost like I judged all Christians off of them, unfortunately. That extreme side that you see. Kind of like if you see a black guy on TV and he's like a thug, and now you think all black people are thuggish, and we're not.
Right.
So I did the same thing. And I had to actually come down off that and go, well, no, they're not all that way. But it still kind of lingers every once in a while. Like, ooh, no, they like to go to church and stuff. I don't want to say asshole or cocksucker around them because that could offend them. You know what I mean? I don't want to do that. And that's where I was with you. So just to be honest.
But there are assholes and cocksuckers.
See, she
Yeah,
even said
yeah.
cocksucker.
Right.
Exactly.
It was more of a not wanting to offend you thing more than anything. That was the fear. It
Yeah.
wasn't like we were prejudging you. It was like we were afraid that we were going to upset you or make you mad because we're like crude and
Yeah.
vulgar sometimes. And,
I played roller derby for 10 years. Did you get that part?
She
I
did.
did. No, I
It's
did.
like
No, I
skating
fully
around with
understand.
pirates.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I fully understand. You're a badass bitch. I
she-
totally get that.
She's a badass bitch.
You're a badass bitch.
But wait a
I
second.
think I would be more offended if you weren't yourself. I feel like, I think that, to be so honest, like you guys have been, and like just trusting, to be yourself, like that makes somebody feel accepted, because then, I feel afraid I can be myself too. And
Good.
I think that that's you willing to take on a Christian onto your show who's also an actor, and like, I don't know, Chuck only had one vote. You guys had two, so he could have been, outvoted.
No,
but
you
like
couldn't.
willing to, you Chuck, my vote counts for two.
No, we're a team though. We all count.
Yeah, is awesome, because like we work in such a diverse industry, and like we're really promoting diversity, because for so long, like we haven't had that diversity represented. And I think in film too, there's like this whole notion that like faith-based films are like over here, and like secular films are over here. And I'll tell you, like right off the bat, like I'm too Christian for a secular film. Like I think that's the impression that casting directors would get from me, because I'm honest about my beliefs. But then I'm too secular for a lot of faith-based films, and I've been unaccepted into agencies and whatnot because I'm a black sheep.
Right.
I'm too risky. I'm a risk. So I'm like in this in-between space where there's faith, but there's also humanity. There's not this pastor's wife that's like doting on her husband. I was like, I don't know. Like, no, like stop spending time on your sermon and get over here. Like now, like, I like, you know what I'm saying? Like stop helping other people and help me, help our marriage, help our children. These are real things. Like, oh, the world, those kids struggle with drug issues. We don't. Like, that's a film I did, a faith-based film, Override, and we're exposing that. like middle class white people. Like, you don't think you all got dark secrets or that your kids aren't like, it doesn't discriminate. Like our issues that affect people don't discriminate. You're a human being. You're going to experience struggle. It's just who's better at covering it up. And I think that I exist in this in between where like, I'm not going to be fully accepted on either side, but like, I don't want to be. I care about the people who are like here with me. And like, and those are my people. So, you know, working in this industry, you have to kind of start defining like, who are you and what are you willing to sacrifice? Like, I don't care about fame. Fame damages people. I mean, it ruins you aspiring to be somebody or not. And then I also don't want to just be fake. So I don't want to portray fake Christian. I want to be real and real people. And those are the people who are going to watch these movies and that I get to have conversations with in theaters that only fit like 70 people. And I want to talk to them and what did you think? Like, and make connection. Like to me, like when I die, I don't want to be like, oh, look at how many followers I had. I want to be like, oh, look at how many like friends.
Look how many lives you touched.
Actually got to like communicate with. And they can teach me things too. Like, it's not like, here, look how great I am. I want to see the greatness in people. People are my inspiration for characters. People say, oh, you're so strong. And I'm like, I didn't go through that. Like, I had to talk to some strong women who've been through way more shit than I have. I have the honor and the privilege of portraying their story and portraying them on screen. That's what I get to do. And that's a blessing. And if that helps somebody, then I can't take all that credit. So, yeah.
Leanne Johnson.
Wow. Girl, you are something. You are really something.
I just got the thumbs up. We're gonna book you a ticket.
I got some like, you know, goose pimples and stuff. Like what a cool person you really are. That's awesome. What you said is cool. I don't even know what to say. Do you want to play a game? Maybe?
Yes.
You want to like switch it up and play a game? Because that was like really like crazy. I mean, it was pretty heavy, but very cool. You're a good, very cool person. Love that. But we're going to play this like a stupid game if you want.
Dude, it's not a
stupid game. This is
a great game.
This is my game, and it's
this is our fans' favorite game.
Oh, okay.
Get damn right it is. Let's play.
Urban Dictionary game.
The Urban Dictionary game.
It's time.
Urban Dictionary
See what you know, what you don't know.
See what you got, Christian.
Do so much better with this.
Let's do this.
Phones are down. Phone is down and away.
Yeah, don't cheat. No cheating.
All right.
Are you guys ready?
Can we guess?
Yeah, you're
guess.
Okay. Yeah, let's tell the rules real quick.
Yeah, here's how it works.
So I give you an Urban Dictionary term or a word or a series of words, and you tell me what you think that it means in the Urban Dictionary.
That's it.
That's it. That's all there is
That's
to it.
it.
And
Each one of us gets an opportunity to answer.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you're usually first, so keep that in mind.
No pressure.
So, and when I do say something and it's like, you know, like what was one of them? Surfboard. It's never going to be what it actually is because we're talking Urban Dictionary. So just to give you that little hint,
so it's not the logic.
It's not the logical thing.
What was surfboard?
It was a shaved vagina.
Shaved vagina.
Oh, okay, there you go.
Yeah, that's a good one.
So that was that.
That's one of my favorite ones.
So our first Urban Dictionary word today.
Okay, here we go.
Or Urban Dictionary words, series of words, whatever.
Okay, let's do it.
Bob's your uncle. What does Bob's your uncle mean?
Bob's your uncle.
Bob's your uncle.
I've heard this term, though. I've heard this term. It just means like I don't care, right? Like Bob's your uncle. Like isn't that
That's a bad answer.
That's not a bad answer at all.
Let's get some definitive ansers there. We want to make sure that doesn't sound like a question when you say it. This is your answer.
All right.
So Bob's your uncle is like basically like it's like I don't care. I don't. I guess it could be. It sounds like it's a question.
Okay.
It's a question.
No, I get what you're saying.
Okay.
Yeah, it totally makes sense.
It's a question. It's kind of like, well, Bob's your uncle. Like Bob's your uncle. Like I don't care. It's going to be the way it's going to be.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
No.
All right.
That's good.
I got you.
How about you? Who wants to go next?
I got
one
one.
of you guys.
I got one.
He's
All
going.
right.
I think it's what adoptive parents tell their adoptive kid.
Oh my God. Okay.
Because he just don't know. He didn't know. So, hey.
Oh no! Now
Johnny,
I'm thinking a whole
Bob's
bunch
your
of
uncle.
funny ones
Oh,
now.
okay, great.
Oh, okay, great.
Now he knows.
Okay.
See, piece of cake. We're
Great.
overthinking it. It's super simple.
Meanwhile, poor Johnny thinks that every Bob is his uncle. Bob's your uncle is just like a way of saying duh.
Well, remember Bam? We named him Bob. Bob's your uncle.
Uncle Bob.
Yeah, Uncle Bob.
Yeah, that's weird. Anyway, what was your answer, Chuck? I'm sorry.
It's like saying duh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Duh. Bob's your uncle. Duh.
Oh, okay.
All right.
I get it. All right.
Okay.
That's not bad.
It's like pointing out the obvious. Duh.
okay. All right.
Oh, okay.
So you guys are all kind of, well, except for Aaron. I don't know. He's out in left field. But you guys, Leanne and Chuck, were pretty close. It's actually, there you go. Like, there you go.
Oh, Bob's your
Yeah,
uncle.
Bob's your uncle.
Yeah.
There you
Wow.
go. Okay.
God, them Christians is smart.
Wow.
So you two,
Yes,
you were
Chris.
pretty,
Like,
you
you
kind of
know.
had like, there you go.
Wow.
That's what it means.
There you go.
All right.
Okay.
Bob's your uncle.
Yep, Bob's
Forget
your
about
uncle.
it.
I'm going to start saying it.
Bob's your uncle. Okay, you ready for the next one?
All right. Yeah.
Okay, so this one is Butterfaith. 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 What is Butterfaith? Come on, Christians. What's Butterfaith?
You're up first. The guest is always first.
Butterfaith, Leanne.
All right, now I have to think about like the symbolism here of the
Okay.
butter.
Okay.
So, okay, butters come from cows, so that could be one connection. But also, butter can melt. You could slice butter. Butter it's slippery,
Smooth.
greasy. Oh, what about? Okay, because it's also solid at room temperature, but under heat it melts. So, Butterfaith would be like somebody who,
I love this game. It's fun.
I'm like trying to.
I know.
No, you're
I'm
good.
with
You're
you, I'm
good.
with you.
We're with you.
But it's like, yeah, you don't believe, or you don't like you're you don't actually believe me, or you don't believe somebody else. Like you
You got Butterface.
when you're tested, you just crumble. Like you've got Butterface.
Okay.
Like, you're not a-
Okay, I get what
No,
she's saying.
yeah, I
Okay.
get
Yeah,
it.
you're
Perfect.
not. Your character isn't. You're not resilient. Like you're not resilient.
Okay, yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Perfect.
Got
Good
Butterface.
answer.
That
Okay.
is a great answer.
Good answer.
Good job.
Nice. All right.
Aaron?
My turn?
Yeah.
Oiling up before church.
Okay.
You don't usually have to oil before you
As
go
weird
in
as
because you're
usual.
usually fully clothed.
Yeah, we're going to put
Chuck?
on some Butterface.
Hopefully.
Chuck, what's Butterface?
Slide right into those church doors.
Butterfaith is actually when people who just have the faith when it's needed. So they only go to church on Christmas and Easter, and that's
Oh,
it.
that
is
clever as
They
shit.
only are Christians when it suits them.
So they
when
slide.
they need it. They just slide in when they need
Slide
to.
in. Good answer.
Butterfaith.
That's really good. I'm really, actually, you guys let me down. I thought someone would guess this one because it's actually so freaking obvious. And when you hear it, you're going to all be like, oh my God. Haven't you heard of Butterface?
No.
Okay, she's hot, Butterface. Butterface.
Oh,
Butterface.
my God.
Okay, she's hot, Butterface.
Oh, my God.
You serious?
That's what it means.
Oh, Lord.
Why did you choose that word?
She's hot Butterface.
It's a code word.
Seemed fun.
It's a code word for an ugly person.
For like, no, not
Well, no,
ugly
like, but
person.
this one is
Someone whose
because
face
she's-
is way over top.
She's
like,
hot, but
over-
she's too extreme with her
yeah,
faith. I got
extreme
it.
faith,
Leanne,
like way
Butterface.
too extreme.
Leanne, you're hot, but you're just too Christian.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't. I didn't say she was Butterface. God,
Dude, you just got to oil up before church. That's all
she's
you gotta
anything
do. It's
but
fine.
that.
So
Come
like
on
basically
now.
when somebody is like decked out for an audition where they're like just dress natural, be yourself, you're like, ooh, they Butterface.
That's it.
Yeah, that is
So
it.
Butterface it, ladies. Okay, that's
Seriously, yes.
That's too.
Yes.
I didn't
I'm
have got
learning
it.
Too
so
much faith is too
Yeah.
much faith, no matter how you look at it.
Fair enough,
right?
fair enough.
Okay.
I don't know,
I
Butterface.
mean, too much
Yeah.
faith in yourself, like you have, Aaron. That's Butterface.
No, not at all.
Oh,
Hey,
that makes sense too. Like you don't believe you're good enough. Yeah,
Or
yeah.
you believe
gotta
you're
put
too
all that
good.
well, you know, Bob's your uncle, so.
Whatever.
You got another one?
What are you
I
gonna
do. I got one
What
more.
are you going to do?
All right.
All right, one more.
Okay.
Do we
Let's
want
do
one
it.
more?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes,
don't
please.
let me down this time, you guys, because this one should be easy.
Dude, I'm
this
giving
is
you
an
great
easy one.
answers.
This is an easy one.
All right.
Chasing pavement. What are you doing if you're chasing pavement? Don't look on your phone, Leanne.
No, I'm not.
Oh,
Cheating ass. She's cheating. I saw
you
it.
look like you were.
Yeah, she'd do that if we were in the sparring ring, too. She'd be cheating.
Chasing pavement?
Turn
Yeah.
off your camera before
Yeah.
you cheat, okay?
Hold on a
kidding.
second. chasing cement or chasing pavement?
Chasing pavement.
Chasing pavement.
Chasing pavement.
Kind of like Adele's song. It's Adele's song.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Chasing
remember
pavement.
the song.
But what is chasing?
Help me out here.
Can this be like, a millionaire where like we can like, have a hint of like something? I don't like losing.
So, well, the
No,
Adele
no,
song was
there's-
the hint.
Hey,
the Adele song
get
was
used
the
to
hint.
it.
The wrong answers are the most fun, so there is no
Yeah,
losing playing this
actually,
game.
that is true.
Yeah,
That
well-
is true.
Chasing pavement, I'm gonna say, is basically like getting nowhere. Why not?
Oh,
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
a good answer.
You're chasing
Yeah.
pavement.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what you were worried about. That was a great answer.
I was going to say just the opposite of that. Going after a goal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. What do you think, Joe?
These are some serious answers.
It's the entrails left behind after you drag somebody behind your car.
Oh, Jesus.
Very simple.
Oh, Jesus. All right. Are
They're
you
just
ready
rolling
for,
down
Are
and
you
chasing
ready
pavement.
for what chasing pavement really means?
I'm
guys?
right. I'm correct. I got the point.
You're
What's the answer?
blind hope.
That's kind of going after a goal.
Okay, it
between
kind of
us,
is. It kind of
Isn't
is.
it?
It's
It's
what?
between our answers.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is kind of like if you mix
like have
all of
hope
your
that you're
answers.
pursuing
Well, I don't know
something,
about
but getting
yours.
nowhere.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
A cross
Yeah,
between
it's
your
between all of our
answer
answers. I want to
and
be involved with
Aaron's.
that.
You
Yeah.
didn't know. You were nowhere near with the entrails. You
No,
were,
Aaron's and Leanne's answers were.
So we tied, split.
Yeah.
With half a half
guys
point.
were.
I'll give you half a
I'll
point
put
for
my
that.
talent.
No, but you guys did really good though. That was a really good guess.
That's
guide.
not bad. Okay, that's not bad.
All right.
Jason Pavement.
I was
Chasing
waiting for
pavements.
something way more derogatory, so I'm a
Oh, okay, yeah. Urban Dictionary can be. That's why it's a. That's why this is a great game because I can fool you guys really easy.
Yeah, you can. Actually.
Yeah, Sam, can you step up your game? This is kind of boring this
Yeah,
week.
like surfboard.
Stop it right
Where's
now.
my surfboard?
Oh, because you want some. Do you guys want more dirtier things?
Give me one dirty one.
You want a dirty one?
You got a dirty one?
Well, don't. The whole point is it's something
I mean,
that
I do
sounds
have a
normal
dirty
that ends up being dirty.
Oh,
Alright,
yeah, I
yeah,
guess
yeah.
that throws it
Well,
off.
Well, I have a
That's-
dirty one if you want a dirty one.
But they
What if
kind of
there's a
throws-
dirty one that sounds normal? What dirty
Muck
one
the
that means
barn.
something normal?
What's muck the barn?
What?
Muck the
Oh,
barn.
no.
What is
No.
muck the barn?
No.
I already- I got
you
an
don't
answer.
I know what it is.
Oh, what is it then? Miss Know-It-All.
Yeah, that's
Can I type it in the comments?
Oh no, you
Yeah.
have to say it.
That's
You have to. You're
You
on
called
the spot.
Aaron
You
a
have to say
cocksucker.
it.
You can say whatever you need
I
to
know.
say.
Come on now,
I
you can
didn't
say
tell
it.
him that. I said there are people.
I mean, geez, it's not that freaking dirty. Come
I
on
mean,
now.
like, no, I'm married. I am. So, so I think this would be during intercourse when a person would find it erotic to perform a number 2 on said person.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
I didn't even think of that. Jesus, you are
And
dirty.
She
whatever
is mucking
happens
the bar.
from there happens. But to
Okay.
me, if we're picking dirty things,
Yeah. Well,
this
you
would
asked
be
for a dirty
mucking
one.
the barn
That would be my.
in a very educational.
Mucking the barn, bro.
I'm dead right now. That's so funny. Aaron, what's mucking the barn? What's muck the barn?
When you pull out and just mess it all up.
Oh,
Yeah, you just get it all done. You just muck it all up real good. And you rub
Chuck?
that all in.
Okay.
It's good.
Chuck.
You muck it up.
Well, let me remind you that Christians can talk normal. Mucking the barn is cleaning your dirty dick off after anal sex.
Oh my lord.
Sorry. Okay.
Okay, so you guys got super creative on me. All mucking the barn is giving a girl oral.
That's all mucking the barn is?
Eating a girl out is mucking the barn, guys.
my
Like you
God.
went all kinds of weird places.
Told you we
and
wanted
things.
dirty.
Imagination is the most powerful thing.
Yeah.
You can't say muck a barn.
Listen.
I
You
mean,
get muck a barn.
If you have to go muck a barn, you have to go clean up after the frickin' horses. That involves their shit.
Well, you
Yeah.
know, I don't know. Muck the barn obviously means other things.
I don't know.
That's muck the barn,
I'm very
guys.
simple.
I'm just saying.
I had the nicest answer, actually.
I do not write these things. I just look them up and
This
present
is
them.
education.
Yeah.
Yes, and I educate people things that they could actually use.
Well,
Just
Well,
saying.
all I can say, Aaron, is stop cleaning the kitchen and get to mucking.
yes, get
muck
to
the
mucking.
barn.
Urban Dictionary game. Thank you, Sam.
Urban Dictionary game.
So we talked a lot about a lot of stuff.
Yeah, we did.
We did good.
And she's still on.
And she's still on.
She's still here. She didn't
still hanging.
leave.
I love it. I love it. Leanne, where
amazing.
what projects you're working on right now? Are you doing anything?
Yes. So I'm always submitting auditions, but I have some projects that are coming up. We are going to be shooting the teaser for the next Batman film.
Nice.
And that's going to be next month. And my costume is going to be, some of my costume is going to be arriving, which I'm very excited about.
Cool.
So that's the most immediate one. And then in March, I've got 2 projects. Actually, it's really interesting, juxtaposed. So we've got a horror, and then I have horror, Dormant Evil, and then a faith-based film, Undefiled.
Wow.
But Undefiled follows the same type of pattern as like yours, Chuck, and some of the other faith-based films that I've been a part of is a little more edgier. It covers content that's like pretty real, and the characters are flawed. And by flawed, I mean they're human beings.
Right.
They're normal.
Like they're us. They're me and you.
Yeah. And like when they pray, they don't like just look up at the sky. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's like, so those 2 projects are in March. One is filming in Michigan, and the other one's in Atlanta. And those are the projects that are most that are the soonest coming up. So aside from auditioning and stuff like that, I'm doing role preparation for those characters. They're quite different. I have a Cockney accent and one very thick Cockney accent.
Very cool.
And the other one is she's a server. So I was actually doing a lot of research on
that's why you're in the coffee house
as being in the service industry and as a waitress. And I learned a ton just by asking people. So like, you're like, oh yeah, there's a server. Well, I want to look like I've been doing that for a while.
Yeah.
When I get on there, because then, I'm freed up to be completely this character. So I put a lot of time into my prep, and
I could give you all kinds of tips on that if you ever.
I was going to say, she could hook you up with some of the Christian stuff, and you could tell her how to be a bartender.
I've been a bartender since I was 21, so I could tell you about customer service like no other.
Oh my gosh, yeah, I love that.
So yeah, I can give you actually some really good like little tips that you can use like across the board, just for customers in general. So yeah, I'll email you after this.
I would love that.
Because I have a couple things I could give you that would give you like secret recipe for being good at that role.
Why are we? Can I ask you a question here?
Yeah.
The goal of CC Entertainment Group is to put out things for people to watch. Why not give a little tidbit of what you can teach her here?
Because
they were doing their own thing.
It's a girl time, Chuck. You just mucked the barn. You can't be worried about what you're going to say.
Yeah, it's just.
I mean, I would give these tips to anybody, but I'd rather just give to her, like not on the podcast.
Whatever.
Okay, like
fine.
come on.
Anyway,
I don't want to like call out customers across the world.
Right.
I just don't want to do that.
Well, you don't have to use names.
Know.
That's my fucking job.
Well, you don't have to use names. I mean,
There's this one asshole. If I didn't have his rum and coke ready every time he walked in the bar, God, he was a dick.
Oh yeah, my customers listen to this podcast, so I better not. No.
You know what I'm saying?
No, the best customer in the world listens to this podcast. I love him.
Awesome.
Anyway.
Yes.
Yeah. And I have projects that are releasing finally this year as well. And so that's going to be really exciting, because then once one of them's a feature collaborator, which has been like almost 2 years, I swear, from like filming to, well, maybe a little, not quite 2 years, but it's been a long time. And the guy who did it, George Ricall Schmidt, he's like a really famous YouTuber. He's super fun and was really awesome to work with on set. And they filmed that in Indianapolis. And there's some really intense content that is covered there. But yeah, my character's one of the more interesting ones that I've played. And it was cool to collaborate with local filmmakers. But we also have another horror Greek Fire coming out by local filmmakers as well. That will be a feature. And I had a small role in that. And it was just supposed to be really small, but then they kept inviting me and adding some more scenes in. So I don't want to give too much away, but they were like, well, we have to do this. And I had an idea. And basically I drug myself downstairs while looking like I was dead. It was pretty awesome.
No joke. Cool.
They were really impressed.
Yeah.
And I was like, I just need this and this. And where's your camera going to be? And then after that, I think I came back for like 2 or 3 more shoots. They wanted more of my, so cool things like that are.
You ended up being in it more than you originally expected.
Yeah, which is better than you going up and they're like, "Ooh, we have to cut."
Heck yeah! Like we're gonna just cut half your. Yeah,
I have 17 pages of dialogue. Where'd I go?
I know.
That's super cool.
We just, we took that out.
Yeah.
So that's
and
awesome.
Then, Judas and the Black Messiah is coming out, and that was like a one-day thing. I went and shot. It was like a period piece, 1960s. I was a background actor in that one, but I got to work with Jesse Plemons in a scene, and it's just a cool project right now, especially that's going to be releasing this year. And I think
on a certain platform or
Judas
just
and the Black Messiah. So it'll be on HBO Max and then in theaters.
Okay.
Nice. Good for you.
It's up for. I mean, both Lakeith Stanfield and Daniel Kaluuya are likely in the nominations for Oscars for their performances.
Wow.
Damn, that's cool.
Which is going to be awesome. I mean, they're phenomenal. But so even just being able to be on set and be on that project and be involved with something that's going to be at that level is pretty cool. So yeah, it's just, as an actor, you got to hustle and
yes, you
always
do.
be looking at opportunities to connect with people.
Definitely.
It's exciting. It's going to be a good year.
So
Good
if
for you,
someone
Leanne.
wanted to look you up, they would look where?
Oh, you could look on IMDb, IMDb Leanne Johnson. That's where you'll see credits and films that are upcoming or pre and post production. And then you could go. I'm on YouTube, though I'm not really active on YouTube. I mainly just use YouTube for videos, and I don't share them.
I really enjoyed your YouTube, honestly. We looked at that. It's
did
actually
you?
really
Okay,
cool.
yeah,
You should share it more. It's really good.
I should, but
really good.
I have a lot of good auditions, but you just can't just share scripted material.
Right.
True.
It's mainly what I use my audition stuff for. And then I'm on Facebook at Leanne Johnson Actor and Instagram at Leanne Johnson Official. So
Awesome.
you can find me there.
Very
and
cool.
I love connecting with people. I don't care about how many people I have. I usually, if somebody comments, I'm like, oh, who are you? Like, what do you do? Thanks. Like, unless it's some guy being like, hey, a hot picture. I'm like,
Right.
works. Okay.
Stop it.
Thanks, bye.
Like, okay. Moving on. But
Thanks.
I'm always interested with connecting with people, and I follow back too. If I haven't followed you back, then I missed it, because I think it's about relationships.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You're right.
That's what we're all about.
And don't be offended if Sam doesn't respond to something you mention
Oh,
her in or
because
something
I
like that.
just
She
am
goes
not
on
a-
Facebook like once every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I'm really, like,
She's not
if
a
I don't
Facebooker.
respond to you on social media, and this is for the world, not just you, Leon, but the world needs to know that I am not a social media person, really. I get on every once in a blue moon. And so,
Well, you know why,
but
though?
I
She
do
doesn't
love
get on very
everybody.
much?
I love everybody because you're on there all the time
No.
talking
I'm
about
guessing you just picked
Because
up
she's
on
always
it.
busy. I'm mucking up her barn, bro.
Oh my,
Yeah.
he does.
I think it's the
Yeah,
empath thing. Don't take too much credit for that. I think it's the empath thing. It's really hard to be on there and
Yeah.
not be affected.
Okay, you hit that on.
I think
right?
she's
You
right.
hit that nail
Yep.
right on the head, because that's exactly it.
much
I see my
negativity for her.
family doing things without me and stuff like that, and I cry and I don't like it, so I just don't get on.
Me, I like swimming in the
like
bile.
it.
I love it. I love it so much.
Yeah, I
It's
think
so
it's-
much
I mean,
fun.
is it ever fun to
love
find
it.
out things about your family on Facebook? Is that ever fun?
Probably
Because
not. If you didn't know about it,
you'd
no.
probably want to just know, right?
Yeah, you'd like to know.
Can you just tell me instead of me finding out on Facebook? That would be nice.
Yeah.
That's why I don't go on
I hear
Facebook.
you, that's fine.
I get super hurt feelings. That's why. I'm a baby.
Not me. I Cobra Kai that
But
shit.
Leanne,
I
you're a
don't care.
badass. You're a badass, and we love you.
Yes.
We
Oh,
super
I
love
love
you.
you guys.
This has
too.
been so much
Thanks
fun.
for having me.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you for coming.
Okay, so I got to ask you, what was your experience like as far as having to deal with 3 hosts, 3 personalities
what?
all at one time?
I feel like I know you guys kind of, obviously reading your script, I see into your heart a little bit. So, and then interacting with you on that level. And then I've seen your podcast, and I see you guys posting stuff, and not Sam so much, but Aaron. And so I have an understanding of like your personalities and where you're at, and who you love, which is great. You post with Sam, and so it's like, I know you're good people. Like so I felt really comfortable. I was excited to hang out with you guys, and I think you're all professional and fun and real. So it was good.
That's what we're trying to do.
I was expecting to get grilled a little bit more, but this was fun. I
You were expecting
think
to get
Aaron
grilled?
got grilled more than anything, and Chuck got left out. And Sam and I were really just having coffee together.
You really, like.
God, it's like being in the bar all over again. Thanks, guys.
Pretty much. Yep. I guess I'm just
It was a great time, though.
Uncle Bob.
It was a super great time.
It was a great time.
Thank you for being on.
Leanne, you're a badass.
You are.
Thank you for being
Thanks,
on.
guys.
All right. Cool. Chuck, you want to close us out, man?
Well, thank you, Leanne, for being on the show today. Thank you for everything, actually, that you're doing, because not only with your input, your music, and everything that you're doing, you actually open up your eyes to these foolish people who think that Christians are weird. But, of course, I've been their demographic they've been following. So
you rank on people from Spanaway all the time. Don't talk shit.
Speaking of, when you said close us out, I thought you were going to, like, pray for us.
actually, that's one of the...
You need to pray for us.
Like, you're just like, hey, close us out. All right, dear Heavenly Father. I was like...
Start clapping. Like one of them black churches.
That's awesome. Well, Leanne, do you want to close us out?
Cue the music.
You know, I would pray anytime, but whatever you guys are comfortable
I love
with. Chuck,
you. You're awesome.
Oh, you're awesome.
Sorry, Chuck.
No.
Go ahead, continue.
You never have to apologize to me.
I was just being
especially
nice.
if everybody's laughing and having fun. Now, if somebody gets pissed off and has to leave, then you have to apologize, Aaron.
Well, I'm just saying, during
I'm
the
going
show...
to get pissed off if
or
you
if I
guys
have
don't
to
end
go
this
pick
because I have
somebody
to
up.
pee.
Oh, you can go pee, too. I just realized what humble was, so I just looked it up. I just Googled it, and I just wanted to act like it for a
Oh,
minute
wow.
here. Yeah.
Oh, can
okay.
we be quiet so we can see him act humble?
Yeah. Oh, you want me to be humble?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Here's humble.
is
Here's humble.
humble?
I just love everybody. You guys are all great, and I'm gracious. Like, I can't even say this shit. I can't even say it. It's not me.
It was a good try.
It was a
I
good
tried
try.
fucking shit.
For you, it was a good...
This is so dumb.
It was a good try for you.
God.
Oh, pathetic.
Anyway, finish the show. Check. We'll go so she can pee
Narcissist.
before she mucks up her barn.
Ladies and gentlemen. Maybe we'll just do the outro on the after we're done.
Someone's not getting laid for a while anyway.
Oh, wait, where my man points go, bro?
You lost them.
Fair enough.
Gone.
Ladies and gentlemen,
You're in the negative.
Sorry, Chuck.
thank you for joining us today on Around the Reel. Leanne, thank you for joining us today for a cup of coffee and a conversation. I really hope that you did have something in that coffee so that you could enjoy the conversation as much as we did. But no, it's always great talking to you. Like we said, we talk to people all around the world, which is amazing. You're closer than anything else, and you're definitely somebody we want to collaborate with further in the future. So thank you for joining us today. And remember, everybody out there, think hard, because you're thinking anyway.
See you later, you guys.
Bye.
Thanks for tuning
Wait,
in.
remember, everybody, think hard, because you're thinking anyway.
Oh, for the love of Christ, both of you guys.
He just
Are
cut
you
me off, though.
serious?
Just cut me off.
Nobody,
Yeah, because-
nobody needs to hear the old intro.
Okay,
or
well, I'm going
outro.
to cut you both off and say thank you for listening to our show. Thank you for tuning into Around the Reel.
That's great stuff.
Yeah.
So why did they even tune in the first place?
I don't know, but they're glad they did.
Yeah. I think it's because we're trying to inspire people
We are.
and have fun with people.
People that are artists.
Creatives.
Yeah. People that are out there trying to make a living with their art.
That's a beautiful thing.
That's what we're doing.
They're crafty.
Yes.
So have them tune in. And how do they get on our show, Chuck?
You can get on our show by going to our website. Please visit us at cccentertainmentgroup.com. Click on the scheduling link.
It'll send you to me.
Yeah.
Sassy Sam was going to get you all lined up on everything
I'll hook you up with a day and a time.
sometime in 2021 or 2022 because it's filling up fast. So if you want to get on this show,
Get on
I
it.
highly suggest
Get on it.
you start clicking your brains out.
Come be our guest on our show. We'd love to hear your story.
We'd love to hear it.
Make sure you come and visit us on Amazon Prime and OP Prime.
Oh,
Come
yeah.
watch
Watch
The
our
Outrider.
movie. Watch our movie. The Outrider.
Yeah, you can watch Marcus
It's good.
Ford kick some fucking ass.
Oh,
This was a perfectly good take until you said
until
that.
you said that.
All right, well, thanks for tuning in to the show. Bye-bye, guys.